By the late afternoon, after hours of having to wear a skirt and her hair in ribbon-bowed plaits, and "now you'll be on your best behaviour, won't you?" of Auntie Roz's lipsticky kisses and Uncle Eddie's usual observation that she'd be as tall as him soon, of the proud showing off of the baby, and "oh, Meg, isn't he gorgeous, he's got Stephen's eyes," and "I should hope so too, Roz, ho ho ho," of "aren't you lucky to have such a lovely baby brother," and having to pretend when asked that she liked school and had lots of friends, of listening to endless adult conversations about nothing of interest, and knowing she wasn't allowed to watch the television because they had guests, and of sit up properly and make yourself useful and please stop sniffing, Lou decided she'd had enough of everyone for a bit and went out into the garden to sulk. The rain had stopped, which was lucky, she thought, and somehow the garden seemed longer than it usually was. But given the mood she was in, that suited her, because it meant she could get further away from the house. It was such a relief to be able to spend some time outside by herself, wrapped up in bad-tempered thoughts and wondering how adults managed to be both boring and annoying at once, that she didn't realise at first how far she'd come. Further, in fact, than the fence at the bottom of the garden, or at any rate, the place where she might have expected the fence to be. Or that the further she went, the brighter and warmer the weather became. And it wasn't until she caught the sense of unfamiliar flowers in the air and saw, a couple of yards away from her, a huge old oak tree growing where it had definitely never been growing before, that she stopped walking, confused, shielded her eyes against the sun, and looked about her. Where am I? Is this still my garden? It's all different. And it feels more out of doors than a garden, more like a park, or out in the country somewhere. To reassure herself, she looked back towards the house. It stood where it had always stood. She could have walked back and got inside in less than half a minute. But how can it be so close by when I've come so far away from it? From behind and above her came the sound of someone clearing his throat, in the way, she thought, that people do when they want to be noticed. She turned around and looked up. Among the branches of the oak tree, something far larger than any bird rustled the leaves as it moved, and she realized she was being watched.